Hi guys, alright, my name is Mr. Sun, your bio coach. Okay, let's look at another topic from chapter 4. This is going to be on 4.3, translocation process. Now, translocation process is a very important process for plants. It's basically the function of phloem. Okay, how does this vascular structure phloem is transporting organic substances from the site of synthesis to all parts of the plant. Okay, so we're going to look at this particular topic today, translocation. It's a very simple process. You don't have to force yourself to memorize this thing. You just have to understand how the concept works. It's very easy. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the structure of a phloem. The phloem is basically made up of a sieve tube element. Basically, it is made up of sieve tube and sieve plate. These are the sieve plate here. You can see the sieve plate. All right, these are sieve plate and these are sieve tube. Sieve tube is made up of cytoplasmic content, which doesn't have any kind of organelle inside. No components of cells inside. Okay, so but it's a living structure. Okay, sieve tube is a living structure. It's not dead like xylem. It's a dead structure. Okay, it is a dead cell. It's a dead tissue because the cell wall is extremely thick. That causes the internal part of the protoplasma to die off and it creates a hollow tube. Now, if you look at a sieve tube, it's made up of cytoplasmic structure, and but it doesn't have any kind of organelle inside. So, student asked me, Mr. Sun, then how does it live if it doesn't have any mitochondrion or any important organelles like nucleus? Then how does it survive? That you have a very simple explanation for that. Please look at this. This is what you call a companion cell. Okay, in Bahasa Melayu we call that a cell rakan. Yeah, the companion cell is basically the structure of cell that has all the important organelles that is needed to give energy and support the sieve tube, so the sieve tube can live. All right, so the companion cell here has mitochondrion, nucleus, ribosome, and all the other important structure except for chloroplast, because they are not photosynthetic cells. So companion cell has a lot of mitochondrion because they need to generate energy in the form of ATP, and they will use that energy for them to pump in sucrose. Okay, they will use the energy to pump sucrose via active transport. They will pump that and make these sieve tube low in water potential. So where are they pumping the sucrose from? They pump that from the source cells. Okay, these are the source cells. All right, what is the source cell? Source cells are like the leaves. Okay, so the leaves are the cells that produces organic materials because they have the palisade mesophyll cell, spongy mesophyll cells, which they will conduct photosynthesis process to generate all the other kind of organic substances like carbohydrate, like in sucrose. They will be producing glucose, they will be producing amino acids, lipids, vitamins, hormones, and so on. They will be producing. They are the one that is known as producers. So we can easily call them as the source cells, which they will be producing sucrose, and once they produce the sucrose will be transported into the companion cell via active transport, and from companion cell the sucrose will be pumped into the sieve tube via active transport. So they are pumping against the concentration gradient. That means sieve tube here has a lot of sucrose that is going to make the sieve tube at this part of the sieve tube here to be low in water potential. Okay, so they are low in water potential. So once they are low in water potential, what happens? Xylem, which is just by the side of the phloem, will start to diffuse. Water start to diffuse from the xylem vessel into the phloem via osmosis process, because sieve tube now here it has very low in water potential that causes water to diffuse from the xylem into the sieve tube via osmosis process. So there's a lot of content here. You got sucrose and water started diffusing into this part of the sieve tube, which this is going to cause an increase in hydrostatic pressure. Okay, there will be an increase in hydrostatic pressure. When there is an increase in hydrostatic pressure here, what's going to happen? This is going to push the content of the sieve tube, okay, to all parts of the plant. There is no unilateral direction of these organic substances to move along the phloem vessel. They will move to all parts of the plant because of this hydrostatic pressure. So this is going to cause the sucrose to move. Let's say it's moving now. It's moving now from one sieve tube to another sieve tube through the sieve plate. And once they are very near to a part of the plant that they need a lot of sucrose. For example, this is fruit here. The fruit needs a lot of sucrose. They need to build their structure with sucrose. So this is what you call the sink cell. The sink cell means the sucrose is going to sink there. The carbons are going to sink inside this particular organ, which is known as fruit, or it can be tubers, roots, and so on. Okay, so sucrose, these fruits here need sucrose. So what happens? Again, your companion cell, this companion cell here, will be conducting active transport, transporting the sucrose from the sieve tube into the sink cell via active transport. So they're going to put that against the concentration. They're going to pump that against the concentration gradient, and they're going to continuously do that until this part here is going to have low in sucrose content. Okay, the concentration of sucrose in this part, which is very near to the sink cell, this part of the sieve tube here is going to have low concentration of sucrose, because sucrose has been now pumped out from the sieve tube and they are brought into the sink cell like fruits and tubers and so on. So when you have less sucrose here, and you have a lot of water, and that is going to make this part here high in water potential. Okay, this part here has higher water potential. So when this part here has higher water potential, water will diffuse out from the sieve tube and enters the xylem vessel again. Okay, all right. So xylem vessel is getting water from the sieve tube at this part, and this is going to cause the xylem vessel to bring these water and mineral salts upwards, okay, through transpirational pull and capillary action, and the process repeats again and again and again. And this is how translocation actually works. You see, how does the sucrose or the organic compounds from the source cells, from the leaves, are being transported to the sink cells where the structure needs the sucrose or organic substances. This is what you call as translocation process. A very simple process. Please remember, this component can come out in paper 1 SPM, SPM KSSM syllabus. Paper 1, they can ask you the order, okay, which comes first and which comes next. Okay, what is the order? This is, you need to understand the order of it. Okay, so the first thing that happens, from the source cell, sucrose are transported into the sieve tube by the companion cell that has this mitochondria. They use that energy to pump sucrose from the source cell into the sieve tube via active transport, and that is going to cause the sieve tube to have low in water potential. Water from the xylem will diffuse into the sieve tube, and this increase of water and sucrose is going to increase hydrostatic pressure in that part of the sieve tube that is going to push the organic substances to all parts of the plant. And when these organic substances comes to the source cells, what happens is the companion cells will pump the sucrose from the phloem sieve tube into the source cell via active transport, reducing the sucrose near the sink cell, the phloem tissue near the sink cell. They are reducing the sucrose there, and that is going to cause that area to have higher water potential, and because of that, water will diffuse back into the xylem via osmosis process, and water will be taken up back by the xylem through transpiration pull or capillary action. This thing continues. This is how translocation works. That's about it, guys. Okay, now next topic I will be focusing on response in plants. Okay, that's a very challenging topic. Okay, which involves the phytohormones. Okay, and we're going to look at how does these phytohormones are responsible for the plant's response towards certain stimulus. We will look into that in our next video. That's all. Take care. Cheers.